that are going to polarize opinion. Pardon?
Hit me. I know there's one you're going to say, and I'm already ready to go off on him. So I know he's going to come at some point.
First one, Pedro Neto.
You know what? That don't even deserve really our discussion, I think. Darkness, bro. Pedro Neto, Champions League final.
I'm not on it. I'm just going to ask questions.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You're just reading what's in front of you. Pedro Neto, if I could give you a quick couple lines of Pedro Neto. No. I think we took a risk signing. I always thought for the left-hand side, we needed one that we could maybe take a punt on and one that can come in and hit the ground running. I think Solis is our one we've took the punt on. So anyone else that comes in, I think we need to hit, 10. We're looking at 10 league goals plus minimum. And I don't think Pedro Neto's done that at Chelsea. And I don't think he could do that at Arsenal either. And
got less goals than Magalhaes, I think, in the league.
Yeah, exactly. So if you ask Chelsea fans, Arsenal going to spend 70 mil on Neto, do you think any of them are going, oh my God, we can't lose Neto? Man, they're laughing. They're going, okay.
They want to shake hand for you, change your mind.
Exactly, man. So, yeah, next, man. No to Neto. Yeah, no to Neto.
Cody Gakpo.
Bro, I see that come up, and I hear Spurs are going for him, but I see Liverpool fans moan about this guy all the time. I swear towards the end of Scott's tenure, I was hearing big up AGT. He was telling me,
big him up.
He needs to play Ngomoa. Rio's the guy, and he keeps playing Gakpo and shoehorning, and Ngomoa's only getting 20 minutes. And I'm hearing just this guy get slated. And the opinion, I don't watch Liverpool every single game week. Obviously, I see highlights against Arsenal, etc. But what I see from him is he's very he'll get a goal, but then sort of do nothing as a winger. He's not that. He's a bit stiff. But he's effective. He's effective. So
frustrating.
I mean, I don't think he's what we need. I think him on a touchline for us would be bad scenes. I don't think he's that quick. I don't think he's, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, my opinion, no to Gakpo.
No, I'm not on Cody Gakpo either, man. It's like if you're hungry or starving, any meal put in front of you is gonna look mad, innit? And that's where going back to it's jarring, bro. It's like going back to what I said in that. I understand trying to go for these guys and whatnot, and I understand we need a left winger, but then I am leaning towards if there's no rabbit we can pull out the hat, honest to God, as much as I don't want this, then we might as well leave it in it. If none of these guys are 100% convincing, because we've already got attackers that polarize opinion, why add more man into it? So I'm with you with Cody Gakpo. Ooh, let's check. So we've got Neto, we've got Gakpo, Rafael Leao.
You know what? This is one I would have took if we didn't sign Solis again. Another one where I think we could sign him, he could get 2 league goals and cause a scene. I don't know. Or he could start and he walks back and doesn't track. Because another one that I've seen on European nights for Portugal, he's looked okay in moments. He looks good in highlights. But from what I hear from AC Milan fans, guys who watch him week in, week out, he polarizes opinion as well in their fan base in terms of, does he get, for all the hype around his name, does he get enough numbers?
Don't get gassed off the skills. We need a man to do it for 90 minutes.
So apparently he's will play well for 20 minutes, then drop off for 20 minutes. He sort of looks a bit lazy and like physical. But I don't know. Nah, I wouldn't. Mainly because we got Solis. If we didn't get Solis, I would have took him. I know Curtis, another one of the boys, he loves him. That's his option. Curtis wants Leao. And he's been wanting Leao, but yeah, not for me. I don't think he's done enough to warrant the hype of his name. Maybe because he suffers a bit of being, he's a drippy guy. You know what I mean? He knows how to dress. He's got a cool
London.
Name.
What do you think's gonna happen?
You know what I mean? Maybe that plays into his part. Whereas someone like Solis, looks like an ordinary guy. I don't know. Yeah, not for me.
I'm not on the Leao thing, and it's a weird one because I like him as a footballer. He's a skillful guy, etc. But I'm only interested if I don't expect someone to do it for 38 games, but you need to do it for the majority of those. If there's a 10-game stretch, Leao strikes me as a guy, 2-3 games, you're gonna be the best player in the world for Arsenal. Then you're gonna be the worst. Then you're gonna kind of be indifferent. A lot of people question mark him tracking back and all of that kind of stuff, and I do too. But I think it's more buying into it. Like, I know he's not Ousmane Dembele, but Dembele bought into that at PSG and he's flying. So that'd be a positive. For me, it's just a shiny new toy. As you said, he's drippy. It's a drippy name. And where we are a bit desperate. But then if I'm honest, I don't really think it's the answer. By default, you could argue, is he better than Martinelli, etc. I think that's a scary slope to go down because then there's, if the bar's on the floor, in it, respectfully to Martinelly. So I'm not on the Leao thing. And also on Leao, I always find funny in the last few years when a player is too desperate to move, like they're doing interviews and stuff, they never end up going to where they want. Like Leao done an interview, he's like, oh, I want to play in La Liga, I want to play in the Prem. Granted, you haven't moved and the window's still open, but you're being linked with Turkey. So all of the quote unquote powerhouses in Europe, there's something about you that they're not really on. You might be a scrappy seconds, a bargain bucket, but I'm not on that. Nico Williams.
Nah, you see, maybe it is. You know what? I think some of me is just still got part of Vinicius in my mind in terms
we
of
all do.
Every name you mention, I always go, oh, but Vinicius, because Nico Williams is another one where I think, is he better than Martinelli?
This is the thing. He's someone I'd take a punt on, but then I have to argue with myself, Jack. I'm like, well, I don't know his wages, but he's on big money. You're naturally going to get big money here. You're going to have to activate his release clause. As you said there, I'm still vexed about the Vinny stuff. And I remember the summer where he took us and Barcelona around the houses. So,
I don't know. You know what it is with him is that numbers this season. I think he had a couple injuries, so I can't hate on him too much. But numbers again in La Liga. Is he going to come to the Prem and get 10 goals, league goals, which is sort of what I'm looking at? I don't think that's a crazy. It's not a crazy ask. I think I forgot his name, the Swiss boy at Leeds. I think he's a winger. He got around 8-9 goals.
Light skin guy, I know you're talking about.
Yeah. He got a couple goals.
Donku or something.
Yeah. My man got like 8-9 goals or something. So am I asking for something crazy for saying I want 10 league goals for the champions? So I don't know, man.
You need an upgrade. From a numbers perspective, Jack, all the attackers had their moments, but from a numbers perspective, Martinelli got 1 in the Prem. I think Trossard had 6. You need an evident upgrade. I know it's not all about numbers, but for us, it's about numbers. So you're right.
Because we don't have anyone that's getting that crazy. I know Joker's our top scorer. We got like 14 in the league, I think. Is that crazy? When you're competing with guys that I know, obviously Salah's gone, but in previous, you're looking at guys like Haaland and Salah and Kane and these guys that are getting 25 to 30 every year. And we're going like, we pray to God Gyökeres gets better and gets 20. And we're praying. These guys are walking in expecting, I wonder if Haaland gets 35 this year. And I know we can't get a Haaland. You got to be realistic. There's no point saying that there isn't one available. If there was, I'm sure we'd be after him. But yeah, Nico. Another one. I'll just put it down to if we didn't have Solis, I would have took him and someone. But we got Solis. That was their answer. He's looked all right in pre-season. So no, I wouldn't take him for 80 mil or whatever it is.
What about Ndai?
Nah. You know what? This is probably maybe one of the better options yet in terms of I think he can hit the ground running. I do think he is someone that could probably get 10 league goals if he hit the ground running and he did slot in. Price, I can't see being too crazy. Probably 60, 70 at a push. Yeah. Maybe that's a bit overpriced, but obviously it's one of Everton's best players. Premier League proven. You're gonna have to pay that price. He's a player that I think we'd want to upgrade on next summer. If we looked in the market next summer and there could be a better left winger available, I think he'd be a better option than Martinelli, but nowhere near what we're looking for, if that makes sense. It's like we're going,
facts.
Martinelli's got 1 league goal. We're just going to spend 60 million to get 8 or 9.
In our heart of hearts, we know it's not the right decision.
You know what it is? At that point, you're thinking, Martinelli, if you got one more in you, and that's when it starts getting scary, man. But
it's already scary if I'm honest with you, man. Like if I'm honest, as I said, like big up all the boys. They all had their moments. Even Martinelli, like even silly things. It's not silly, but in hindsight, you got an assist for Max Dowman against Everton. You did get the equalizer against City. You're a different man in the champs. Since that 2022-23 season, that's been Martinelli. You're not going to get numbers like that, but you are going to have your moments. Saka is more of a fitness thing. Noni and Martinelli are just tools in the toolbox. I don't really want to bring in another one that's kind of like that. So, like, before I carry on, is it a case of, and I don't really want this, but it's needs must, do we have to keep our powder dry for next summer? Because 12 months from now, there's going to be other guys that we're linked with. Whoever that is. Maybe Rodrigo post ACL. I don't know.
I don't think you can... It's hard because then I think you're going half-hearted because I think Bruno G is a win now signing. His age, the transfer fee, that's sort of indicating that we want to compete now, which as we have been, we just won the Premier League. We want to go again and Champions League. And Bruno's not here to play well in 5 years, is he? He's here to play now.
They're here to do things today.
So if we're then going to go and say, we're just going to give him Martinelli for a season and a half until someone else becomes available, it's sort of, Or then should we have just gone and got someone younger than Bruno G that would be ready when there's a left winger? I don't know. It's polarizing both sides. I don't know. I think you go and get someone purely on the fact of I think fan noise plays a bigger part into morale and stuff at the stadium than maybe people think in terms of.
I think that's why we got Gyökeres, so that's a good point.
There's definitely, a big gap between, a Twitter fan and a person at the stadium in terms of opinions. A lot of people are a lot more expressive, more online. Myself, I do podcasts, etc. But when I'm at the stadium, it's a lot more behind the team. But the general gossip, the mood. I remember pre-season, Curtis was saying when the Ornstein notification went out that we weren't getting Vinny, and he was signing. Everyone was looking at the phone, was going a bit flat and stuff like that. Do you think we need like a bit of an energy bringer, like Alexis did, and like Declan did, like when we brought Eze out and we tried to recreate that with Bruno? It would help to have someone just to get everyone firing again for the season. It might be an Ndai or Nico Williams that maybe isn't the shiniest of toys we wanted, but we'd all get behind them either way. So yeah, I think we need someone. I'd say get someone at least. Don't leave it completely. I think we've got enough money. We've got enough money to make a mistake.
Would you go for Rodrigo? Bearing in mind he's got an ACL and he might not play until 2027, because this is another question I'm posting to people as well. For me, it don't make sense because he's not fit. But
you know what it is? One, you don't know what a player's like post that type of injury in terms of pace and recovery and from certain other injuries. Also, he's not good enough for Real Madrid in terms of they've replaced him. They've just spent what broke their club record fee on Diamonde. They're keeping Vinny. They got Mbappe. Even Brahim Diaz gets decent minutes for them. Arda Güler sometimes plays on the right. If he's not good enough for Madrid, and that's the team we want to be beating in the Champions League, should we be going after him for a lot of money?
To be looking for him, yeah.
I always think that there could be a 22-year-old out there that just needs that. Another Diamonde maybe that needs that move.
Just needs that platform and that opportunity.
We've got players at the moment that can play at a level. All our players, even Martinelli, I'm not the biggest fan of right now, can play at a level. He can kick ball, you know what I mean? He can play at a level. We've got that sort of squad right now, Rice gets injured. We've got Bruno G now, etc. Where we can sort of, compete. We've got a bit of room to maybe take a punt on some of these younger guys, and I feel like they've tried it with Solis. He could explode. Who knows? What if he replicates his numbers from Belgium? Obviously,
and then we're laughing.
Very, very highly unlikely, but they've gone, maybe there's at least a 10% chance of that happening. Let's take the punt for 40 mil, whatever it's 35 mil. So I like that thought of thinking in terms of what's the point in signing someone that's not good enough for Real Madrid to take into a Champions League to beat Real Madrid?
And he's a bit like Vinny, who keep crying about Real Madrid and all of that stuff.
And he's not 19, 20. It's not another Erdegaard situation where he couldn't get game time at 16 and stuff like that, and he went out on loan.
A grown man.
It's not one of these. He's a starter. He's an international. He's not good enough for Real Madrid. That doesn't mean he's not a good player. I don't think he could probably do a job for us, but I don't think he's going to set it on fire for us. I think we should be looking at that 23, 24-year-old that maybe comes to us to go to that next level, maybe play better in a high possession team, something like that.
And you're right, man, because I know it's not the same, but like everyone knows about Sadio Mane and Arsenal fans. He was terrorizing us at Southampton, let alone everything he's done in a Liverpool shirt. But he wasn't the sexiest kind of name. It's fair to say that worked out. They signed Mo Salah. I hardly doubt at the point of signing him, Liverpool fans were waxing lyrical. It's fair to say he's done all right. He did all right in a Liverpool shirt. So that might be something that we need to go down. And that's where I'm kind of leading towards, because again, once people end up at Real Madrid's and Barcelona's, etc., I know we've signed players from these clubs before, but you're kind of wishing on a star or certain variables. Like Alexis and Ozil were essentially forced out. Vinny, it felt like we'll pull the plug if we kind of have to. It was a game of poker. What do you make of Ismaila Sarr? I'm not having him, but somebody commented it. I'm not having that personally.
Nah, not on it. You know what? I'm blessed with one of my boys, Mac. He's a Crystal Palace season ticket holder, and I don't know, man. He's not as shiny as maybe we all think he is. Can be a bit of a moments player sometimes as well. Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, not for Arsenal. Maybe I think he's good where he is. Palace.
And I don't know. It's not for me, man. You never know. And next one of our rivals, for argument's sake, buys him and he balls out. I say fair enough. I didn't see the vision, but it's not that I think he's a bad player. It's just kind of the school of thought we've been talking about. It just doesn't make sense. What about Kenan Yildiz, like the Juventus guy? Only because we were linked with him as well in the Athletic.
Yeah, I'll take him. He'd be probably the first name that I would take in terms of Yildiz. he's another one where I don't think he's my dream signing, but he's good enough that I think in a couple of years he could become that 30 goal a season player. He's got that potential in him. And
he's another one like Rodgers, man. I don't know long term if you're a left winger, but I'm on signing you and figuring that out.
I'd say realistically, I'd say his close control, dribbling, etc. is probably his biggest attribute. He could be good on the touchline, which is why he probably plays on the left. But I don't know. Is he rapid? I don't think he's slow. I think he's quicker than Trossard and Solis now. I think he's a quick option. I don't think he's Martinelli level, but he's definitely an option. I think what's he getting around 10 to 15 all comps, roughly. Decent for his age.
Make the world of difference over here.
So yeah, you know what? I'll take a punt on him, but I think out of all the names you mentioned, I think he's the only one that probably doesn't want to come in terms of he likes Juventus, man. Apparently he's a big Juventus man. Del Piero, one of his idols, etc. I don't know, Juventus fans would kill him as well. He's like, Juventus are not the Juventus of 10, 15 years ago. They are not the best right now, and
they're in the dumps, man.
He's their one shining light. If they got rid of him, that's like us getting rid of Saka in like 2020.
Yeah,
it'd be like
suicide.
Like, you've just pulled everything out the club. So I don't even think 150 mil would do anything. And then you start looking at towards 150, 200, and I just think he's not worth that. We could have got him for that.
Crazy.
It's tough. It's tough.
And I'm happy we ain't got to make these decisions, man.
Yeah,
what about
that's the thing. We don't make them. We don't make them.
And this is where I'm saying, like, as much as I can have my opinions, Arteta, your job is to coach and obviously help with the targets. Bert are the same. I've got faith in you lot, and I rate you lot. So I hope you lot are doing your jobs, because as much as I can cut you lot excuses and be a bit critical, at the end of the day, the bottom line comes September the 1st. What have we done? What haven't we done? Bruno G, step in the right direction. Can't big him up enough. I think we will sign a defensive reinforcement. We'll get into strikers, but I don't know where the Osman links personally are coming from. To me, it makes sense, but it doesn't really make sense. If I'm honest, and we sign a defender, it's not that we didn't need it, and it's not that we didn't need Bruno. It's like we're already strengthening areas we're stronger in comparison to the left. Because on paper, I like what Zolas could be. Him in isolation, I like him, but I'm gonna have to, like you were saying, in terms of having hopes as fans, we're probably going to place them on him to an unrealistic expectation, because he's obviously kind of new to this. You've got the whole Eze left wing debate, and we've been speaking about Martinelli. It's a bit bleak on that left-hand side, and indirectly what we do in the left of midfield, and obviously who is actually going to be our left back. What are you saying for Nusa? Antonio Nusa of Leipzig, Norwegian lad. He knows Odegaard.
Nah, I think he's too raw. I think he needs a Brighton, Brentford. I think he needs one of them. You see, like a 45 mil to Brighton, I can see that happening. Whereas he's probably linked to us for 85. And do I think he's ready for us? Do I think he could be a play for us? I know sort of counter contradicts what I was saying about trying to look for that next guy, but I think the difference between him and Yildiz is Yildiz could be that next guy, and he's already performing at a level that's better than what we got. Whereas I don't know if he'd come in and Nusa would come in and translate straight away.
That's what Nusa could be versus what he actually is right now.
Whereas I think Yildiz is already something and could be even better. Whereas